This is the beginning of the 15th Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And today we will be once again with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, and we will discuss topics which may be of interest to kids. We may have a few technical issues just to iron out here as we begin. Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin yet? We don't have any.
Rick, as we always done. As you always done with all the teaching sessions, which is workshops, we start with the Keshe Foundation videos.
Sure, we've got that lined up. Let's start that.
We keep to that tradition. We don't change.
Okay.
Okay.
Where does humanity go from here? What have we tried to do? What if there is more? Much more? The Keshe Foundation is proud to announce a new way to bring humanity forward through technology that brings humanity in line with the natural operation of the planet and universe itself. The new science and technology discovered and developed by the nuclear engineer Moran Keshe centers upon the use and control of magnetico-gravitational fields. This new body of knowledge opens the road to hundreds of potential applications, which offer solutions to most of the fundamental problems of the world, such as water, food, environmental contamination, and shortages of energy. The Keshe Foundation is proud to unveil the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Nestled amidst the beautiful shores of Bari, Italy, the Institute is poised to become a central hub in the spreading of plasma technology and knowledge. With its state-of-the-art 21st century facilities, the Institute will be able to provide students and staff an immersive way to learn the plasma technology, to be the leaders of the new generation of scientists and plasma engineers. The Keshe Foundation has opened the door to the world for peaceful usage of technology that is independent of the limited resources that are available on Earth. This is an understanding of how everything works together in harmony in our universe, and it applies to everything from the smallest to the biggest, from atoms to galaxies. We all are able to collectively work together in pursuit of knowledge, innovation, and solutions for our society. This learning environment is new to the world, where there will be no test to confirm your understanding. The knowledge of everyone will be respected and allowed to flourish in a nurturing environment. Hands-on testing and experimenting will be widely used in conjunction with roundtable discussions to bring all opinions and knowledge.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
In the ethos of working in collaboration. Students will experience firsthand how we share knowledge in a free and open manner. Graduating students are expected to share the knowledge they gain from the university within their respective communities and nations. All formal teachings, lectures, and presentations will be in the English language, with technology available for immediate translation. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will be offering 3-year executive master programs for undergraduate degree students and 1-year executive master programs for graduate degree students in the following fields: space transportation, new plasma technology, health, agriculture, materials, energy. The health section is designed to make students able to live in space without the need to return to Earth. To this end, the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute has found processes for many diseases including ALS, cancer, coma, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will offer online teaching courses which will enable anyone, anywhere around the world to enroll and increase their knowledge and understanding. Students will have the opportunity to direct their work towards commercial spin-offs and seek funding through the help of the Keshe Foundation. The access to the new science and new technologies is openly available for peaceful use to the benefit of mankind to make a better world today. Now you can be part of the changing world and the new knowledge. All commercial spin-offs are intended to be open source and patent-free. This is part of the core ethos of the Keshe Foundation and the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will have its official inauguration on April 21st, 2015, with courses commencing soon after on May 4th, 2015. The students of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will be the leaders of the future who will make changes in all areas of space technology, science, medicine, agriculture, and energy. Anyone is able to apply, but acceptance is through invitation only. No prerequisites are required. We will be accepting approximately 250 students for the 3-year Executive Master's Program and 120 students for the 1-year Executive Master's Program. We welcome humanity's participation in the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Where does humanity go from here? That is up to you. Why today?
Okay, that was the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute promotional video. And now we'll hear from Keyvan Davani. I think he has a couple of special guests today. Let's see what he has to say. Keyvan, are you there?
Hi, this is Keyvan Davani. Hello, Mr. Keshe, Rick, Vince, everybody. And first of all, I want to thank you. Been enjoying the lectures since yesterday. You've been saying things, Mr. Keshe, which you have not been saying that concrete, so detailed. First of all, I want to ask you an organizational question. There are a couple of parents who ask whether it's in any way possible to change. I know we cannot readjust, the times for everybody, but would it be possible to change the time of the Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop because of the kids going to school at this time? Most of the parents that I know. So this is a question I'm just gonna put out over here.
If you can handle the Spanish group, yes. They probably have at this moment of time for the next few weeks till a new announcement will be made by the foundation, is that in the present structure where we are in Advani, we have to leave the premises at 6 o'clock. This will change in the coming up time. We'll announce it how and why. So what is left is if you can change with a Spanish group, the timing, we have no problem. This is only a slot which is left, which with the Spanish, we agreed 2 days opening for the public teaching or questioning and sharing the knowledge internationally if you're not part of the teaching groups. So you have to speak to a Spanish group to change the program, or they move up and you move down. This can be done, it's no problem. They can have 2 sessions during the week at 1:30 and 2 sessions during the week at 5 o'clock. That's the only possibility we see at the moment.
Makes sense. Thank you. Let's see if we can work this out. There is a father from 2 kids. His name is Afshin Saran. There's the person, by the way, Iranian, who offered to translate your book into Farsi. And there's a fundamental question I wanted to put up over here. It's about the educational schooling system. There's a situation he allowed me to to explain that to you. His daughter is 15 years old, was given the task to write an essay, and so they wrote together with her dad an essay over the teaching, over your teachings about plasma science and technology, and she got the lowest grade. So I think this is a fundamental question. I wanted to ask you whether we can work out a strategy where parents with their kids can somehow, by learning by doing, can maybe put up or build a simple system, take it to the teachers who might be somehow open-minded, and so teachers have to take a firm position, stand on that, and give a reasonable explanation, or somehow have a discussion at least with the classroom, with the students. So I think this is a fundamental question, since we have millions or billions of people going to school, and this is a very mature time now to get this. This is why I guess we're also doing this Kids Knowledge Seekers workshop, because the aim is to create a peaceful civilization, starting with the root of our society, of our civilization, and these are the kids. Do you have any suggestions, ideas how we can open up this narrow-mindedness and ignorance in our school system, which we have all been going through?
You see, I was discussing this with a science teacher maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and in the conversation I came to one conclusion. The present situation, especially in the Western world, about anything, be it from Coca-Cola to the car, to be a science or anything else, if promoted on the television and the internet to be beneficial to certain groups or organizations, will go viral. And then every teacher would like to be and was interested, always knew that, and the rest of it. And the teacher told me something very interesting. He said, if I teach your science to my students, at this moment I'll be looking like a fool. And the headmaster and the school organizers would not like such a thing. So we go back into the system of control that this teacher is very close to me. So when we have a talk, it's very frank and straightforward. It's not a stranger. And he teaches at the highest level in high school, pre-university level. And so from him I understood a very simple answer, that even teachers find the new technology acceptable to them, they have to keep it on hold or away from their work line of teaching, that they don't lose their jobs. This is how it stands at the moment in European educational structure. When we can change the position, it depends on how fast we can eliminate as many people as possible in the structure of the teaching. As you know, we spoke about this a long time ago. The Italian television made about 10 hours of video filming. The Italian television guys, they made a video about 10 hours of it, of the Keshe Foundation. And yeah, probably 10 hours, because Giovanni is here, we got a copy of it. And they will not finish it to go for publication, even in Italy, where we have a lot of support. And we have managed to get the copy from the film, the cameraman, the film producer. When they originally came to us, they said they were producing it to go to a television channel. And now, a year later, this still has not been finished to be released. So when a producer is told that the video or the film about the history and the process of the technology and the science is not explained, is not allowed to release the film which has been produced, then how do you expect the other teachers to be able to bring it in discussion? Because if it's on the television, then it's accepted to be talked about. And this is the problem we are facing now.
Mr. Keshe, what would you say if,
In so many ways,
sorry.
you can see me. In so many ways, the children who are coming close to the technology and testing it, or through their parents or friends are becoming familiar with the technology, are ridiculed or laughed at, or whatever you like to call it, as what we call the world organizations see it as a threat, as a way of change of a status quo. And as long as you can't change the status quo, we have to follow the way we are doing, teaching online, the way we have started the institute. Last year when we started the institute, we started with 8. Now we started the institute with a different proposition, different structure, and in the first year we reckon online and offline will pass a few hundred, maybe a few thousand. As they say, Rome wasn't built in one day, and a technology like this, which is revolutionary, is not going to be accepted by the people who are at the realm of the running of the structure. As we were discussing today at lunchtime with Armin, we are operating and working in the direction to open Keshe Foundation, independent universities around the world, out of cooperation and operation of the foundation itself. That we don't rely on governments for such a move. This way we can teach freely, and in a way the young generations who are around the foundation can start a process of what we're looking for. I was explaining to Armin while we were going for lunch just now that we need individuals who can give time to introduce the technology to every university, to be available to them if they want to use it, or if they want to broadcast it or give it availability that the students would like to become familiar with it. I think what is important is to make special sessions for different structures. Schools, middle schools and upper schools and universities. We are not in that position to do. At the moment we are battling with what we call the scientific groups of people, or people who understand part of the science. So I understand the feeling of the child to get the bottom mark, because this is usual. It actually shows the lack of understanding of the teacher not being open to the knowledge, and not the child's science and knowledge and technology he understands or she understands. For this reason, as I said, hopefully by September, once we start going here, with the teething problem is over, we will run the Keshe Foundation teaching schools and classes in a different shape and form within the next 12 months. And this is all part of the structure which is getting set up. And as I said, in the coming near future, we will not only announce the opening of the school, but we have already found the position of the school for the children to be able to attend, to be taught the space technology from ages of 10 upwards. This is the time when the children become interested in science, and that's where they put the seed of the science and technology in a direct form. The facility has a license. We are doing directly on the Keshe Foundation license. Facilities for about 18 students. and this will in turn we will announce it when it opens up. We have possibility of running 2 to 3 classes next to each other. In due course, we announced this, that we will have a school level teaching in the coming 12 months, because it's a structure we already have, and we're working on it. We have found the accommodation and the structure. So we teach to the children live the way we do our teaching classes now, in the classrooms by the teachers who understand the science to teach. So, for example, in schools around the world, if they have 1 hour teaching of science about the space or plasma, teachers can lock into that time of teaching. This timing, we have found a place, and maybe it's a good time to announce it for the children. We have facilities for 2 or 3 18-seater classrooms. It's an extremely beautiful place for the children to be able to extend the knowledge, and then we keep them in the same structure as understanding the plasma technology as the adult teaching section, where it means the children can have their own labs to test and develop, and with it allow other children to come in. Is that okay? I heard better. Okay, no problem. So this is part of the structure which we are working for, and as I said long time ago, we will see. I learned this from the Chinese authorities. The Keshe Foundation teaching will go to the root, which is once you teach the children at the age of 10 or 11, they will teach the teachers and the adults what it is and how it is, because then they can show it. Then they won't be ridiculed. And I have no, what do you call it? I have no problem with this at the moment, because the structure we are looking at, we have come to an agreement, will be announced soon, has the facilities for teaching the youngsters from the basic, from the beginning, in what is needed. What is strange, I explained very recently, is that when you go to the schools, they teach you the history of how the leaders killed and conquered and developed and destroyed, but they don't teach the children the true science and the world of peace. I see that in the history classes. We teach them how we conquered, how we killed, and how we ruled, but we are not ashamed of what we've done. And this is how we're going to change the structure. And in the new structure which we have set up, and will be set up in a full way in the coming 12 months, we teach the science and the unity of man from the classroom, and how the science can be used to bring unity. Then the students or the people or the parents who feel they want their children to be brought up by the ethos of peace and unity, and through the development of new science and technology, will have the room to play. And as we said, the structure which we have negotiated and negotiating to is actually completed, has the certificate for teaching, and we can go directly into the school structure. Then the parents who have the children in this class, they can teach them directly at home, or through the university, or through the structure of the Spaceship Institute, the schools.
Thank you, Mr.
It's
Keshe.
a bit long-winded, but I hope you
and
understand exactly what is to come.
yeah. Mr. Keshe, you once said that, you know, science
I can't
should be
hear you.
fun.
Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Can you hear me?
Can you repeat the question? Hello?
Mr. Keshe? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That was, you know, a really beautiful strategy, actually, and structure that thank you for clarification. You said once, you know, science should be fun for kids. So I thought, you know, learning by doing, and since, you know, I think it was one of the knowledge seekers was Armin and you, who said by now a 10-year-old boy or girl, whatever, could make a simple system like this water generating, you know, system. I thought that would be a prime example, to make it at home and show it to the teacher of physics at school, and then the teacher would have actually, or during maybe a project or something like that, the teacher would be obligated or somehow be forced to take a position on that and explain why and how this happens. What do you think about this idea?
This is part of the development. We have to develop these technologies, these equipments, as we've seen with the CO2, as we've seen with the paint pad. Now Armin is back to China hopefully next week for the completion of the water units and other bits which is around the foundation has to be developed. The energy units will be released. I had a link this morning which is interesting from the people to tell me that Tesla organization has released a new battery for solar cells, which is very good. And I explained to them they still need the solar panels to be able to have the energy. The reactors which we are developing and will be released have the possibility of not only the energy but what you call the lift. We are getting there. Italian engineer has already developed the technology. He should be here next month or two, and then we can show the structure of the energy production in that level. But maybe we can achieve it much before. So to show the proof of concept, we already have shown the CO2. The energy unit is already in the phase of hopefully getting developed to be completed, to be commercialized. And the water unit is already, the test unit is working in China. So it's a matter of converting it to a full set, and then we release it. Then they can show what they like to the teacher, and they still will say it's a gimmick. So we don't look at the teachers, we look at what we can change structurally ourselves. The beauty of it is that even the physics teachers will not understand what's in front of them when you show them the water unit, because they don't understand the working of it. In the working of I explained before, I explain it again, maybe it's a point of reference. The water unit which you speak about, you were here, I explained to you, was in fact, if you look at the CO2 kit, we explain this again, maybe for the child to explain to his teacher. The CO2 kit, we produce a nano-coated copper and a zinc plate. Then we allowed in the water salt content to create an environment where the gravitational field of CO2 could be created. So what you collect at the bottom of this pot has been molecular structure of CO2, which nobody has ever seen a gas of CO2 in solid state. So this is what you had. In the water unit, what has happened and what we've done is, for the CO2 to get to the bottom, it had to go through the water. What we've done in the water unit, we have sealed it, where we do not allow the plasmatic magnetic field of the CO2 to enter the bucket. But in the environment above the bucket, there is what I call a traffic jam soup of CO2, which is here. Now, this container is made of plastic. We put around the container in a specific way another container made of plastic, or even the container itself made of plastic. Plastic has a CH bond, carbon-hydrogen bond. So when you put the container, the sealed container, and a container which sits inside it in a caustic material, or put them in a caustic, and then wash the caustic without touching the wall of the containers, what you have created is nanostructure magnetic field of carbon and hydrogen. So in fact, the material is nano-coated carbon with hydrogen trapping, which what happens now, as the air and CO2 in the air gets attracted towards to go inside the plastic, in interaction with the carbon and hydrogen, it links up in a mass to production of H2O. So it's the simplicity of understanding to create a plasma of carbon-hydrogen bond in a nanolayer, and then trying to force and create a condition for the CO2 to enter the material or the container, which leads to the creation of the water, and then we collect the water as what you like to be called drinking water, pure drinking water. This process, actually, if the children understand, creation of water or condition of creation of water through the plasma of the CO2 and CHNO, which is the amino acid of the lung of the man, creates to the production of the moisture or the liquid in the lung of the man. So, in fact, what we have done, we have repeated the structure of the creation of moisture or water in the lung. And that's why here we can collect water. So, a simple CO2 kit, if a student or a child can explain to his teacher, and the teacher is bright enough to understand, is the water unit is the replication of the working of the lung of the man. The moisture in the lung is created when the gravitational magnetic field of the CO2 is about to depart from the lung to be inhaled out. And if in an unhealthy condition you put changes or create changes in the formation of the lung by being old, by being frail, by compact to the lung, you create more moisture in your lung, and in the hospital they take sometimes 6 liters, 4 liters of water from each lung. They call it the liquid of the lung. So all we've done, we have repeated the process of the lung in the new water generation. So you ask a child to explain this to the physics scientist or a physics teacher or a chemistry teacher, there is no way they're going to accept to show their stupidity and lack of knowledge. So the student is always wrong, but he can show how he can collect water. When I explained this to Armin to go to China to organize the production of the water unit, in a way, all I did, I explained the working of the lung in creation of water, moisture, which happens in the body of the man, and we taught in the health teachings some weeks, months ago. So if the teacher denies the production of the water as a gimmick, the teacher is denying his own existence and the process that he lives by. Because we know and we have explained, in the lung of the man, there is no liquid coming from the body into it, but the moisture of the lung of the man is created through the process of the interaction of the layers within the structure of the lung, as the magnetic gravitational field of the air, which is composition of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and others, with the amino acid structure of nanoplasmatic condition of the lung. So now try to explain to a physics teacher, is his knowledge wrong on the fringe of science, or the true reality of the working of the unit, the true science? These are the units which are built to give water, but at the same time change the course of the teaching of the mankind in what fallacies we have accepted up to now. Now we'll build this unit. We have shown it in the teachings or in the conference last week, 2 weeks ago, that units produces water. We have put one of these internal containers on the lab table with the stainless steel floor without any plastic around it, and we have noticed moisture at the bottom of the plate, what do you call it, container, and on the side of the container. Is that okay? Or do they see part of it? It's just that you have that thing in the middle. It looks we are halfway. Enlarge it. If you can enlarge it, it will be very good. So if you want to write even bigger, the full size of a blackboard. Is that good? So when you say a child has been given the lowest mark, even if you give the child a water unit, without the teacher understanding that the degree he has in physics or chemistry is good for the bin, you will find the child will always be the victim. The structure of the present science is reject everything that you look clever. And children are no different than a scientist like me who tries to teach the correct physics according to the plasma, not in the matter state. As students understand, there are so many units built to confirm the incorrect science that even the teachers don't know what is reality and what is true. And this is part of the structure of health, understanding of the plasma technology, nanomaterials, and actually, if I was the child who made and was given the lowest mark, get in touch with us. And what we do, we make a video. We show the teacher the capture of CO2 that you do as a child, and we show the teacher how the water is made, and we ask the teacher to go for a long-term holiday retirement because it's not good to teach. Because then you have shown the system. You can build this in the house. You don't need us. Total cost maybe less than €5. It's the children who have to change the course of mankind, not the adults and the old, because we already messed it up. If we were good, we wouldn't brought mankind to this problem as we are at this moment. So if I was a child who was given the lowest mark and his father is there to support her, spend a week, take a video step by step how you do it, understand the process, and go to the teacher and explain, can you explain to us how this is getting wet? How you're getting material at the bottom. We use the soft plastic container from a food container to do this. Can you bring it, please? We're going to show you exactly how easy it is. You can do it, or as the CO2s, we show it to you now. Armand is going to get this. We have 2 containers of it.
Mr. Keshe?
So actually, Armand has made a flower pot of it yesterday. We show you how we are expanding to collect. Because to our estimate, if a lung can hold 4 to 6 liters of water in one day, so should be this system. So we expect from each system around 4 liters of water, 3 to 4 liters of water per day. But it needs to be adjusted, so we are testing the new adjustment, because in the lung of the man, we have elaborate and very complicated shape of lung, and a lot of channels, that all the channels are producing as much water as possible through the process of conversion. So at the moment, we are testing a cup and a container. We are testing a double wall. It's one of these plant pots. It's a plant pot like this, which you can see. And what Arman has been doing for the past couple of days is he has opened the container. It's a double wall. We have placed the condition of creation of copper oxide and the zinc plate in this container. And this hollow part, this is a bottle cooling container to put bottle of wine with ice in it. This ice cooling container. Then we see if we can create a condition that we can collect water on a continuous basis inside the container. So this, the only problem we have is the quality of the plastic, if it gets nano-coated or not.
Mr. Keshe, you have a question?
No, it doesn't. Because it's exactly like your copper plates. Once you nano-coat the copper plate, because the coating is of the same material as the copper, it becomes part of the structure of the copper. We are not making a hole, we are creating a condition. The world of creation for the children to understand is, as we say to the adults, but the adults keep on forgetting and they forget about it, is creating a condition. We had a nanomaterial, copper oxide, we had a zinc plate. By putting a salt, we created a condition. It's like you buy a radio and then you tune to a certain frequency to listen to your favorite radio channel. Then we created the radio frequency, as you like to call it, of the gravitational magnetic field of CO2. And then we attracted it. These are the units. So now, if you look, you can explain it.
In the middle.
I can't see it, but Arvin tells me, yeah, because this is just finished today, yesterday?
Yeah,
yesterday.
You see this?
Yeah.
This
Yeah, okay. So we can show it there, no problem. If you can see it, if you can show it, that you see that this is just finished. We wait for it till the condition is created. The outside you have a zinc plate. Inside, on the other side of it, you have a nano-coated copper plate. They are connected, that creates a condition of current flow. Inside it, you see the production of the gas of CO2, which creates a magnetic field around this environment. This container feels wet. So it creates this condition here. So now we have a plasma of CO2 which is hanging around the container, the same inside, and then we have nano-coated the inside. By allowing airflow, we should start collecting water in the container, and we see the first drops collected, as Arman can see, it shows me. So we have to modify this. This is not a complete unit, because we need the airflow that allows the flow of air that continuously can, in interaction, convert to the water. So this is very much one small part of the lung of the man, but in the direction the way we explained. The other process, as I showed it to you here, if you look, is the same thing. This is the box, and inside you see the center container. This is the CO2 kit which we have blocked. And in a very simple way, if we can show it to you, this is the container, and you see the moisture. The moisture which is inside. We feel the moisture. Why I've done this, I have closed the containment to make sure I only use what CO2 sits within the container. We showed this in a bigger scale a few weeks ago in one of the teaching in the Sensano, and I think it was Eric Clausen. Sandor showed the other conversion of it. So this is a practical way of the application of the science. In a way, you can show a parallel with it as the working of the lung. So once we become expert in this, and in so many ways allow a high volume airflow, we will be able to create 3 to 4 liters of water a day. The airflow will come from the process, as you see, the current created where we put a LED lamp here. The system can be adjusted that this is continuously getting wet. So the process is that the energy from the system will feed the air through like the lung of a man and allows the continuous production to that kind of water. And this can be produced with a little money. And if you are in the process of understanding this structure, all you need to do now is to allow the water to be energized in a plasmatic magnetic field, and the energizing of the water can be the energy of a banana milkshake or a strawberry milkshake, depending what you put in it. So these units in the coming time not only will be the water unit, but it will be the food unit of the future. And you don't need to do anything with it. Just the water which comes out. At the moment, the water which comes out here not only is created because of the CO2, but it'll carry the gravitational magnetic field strength of copper, hydrogen, carbon, and zinc. So if you drink the water which comes from this container, you have increased development in comprehension and emotion, because zinc is one of the major components in the world of the creation, in the brain of the man, for creation of emotion and in the stability of the science of the neurosystem. That's why in materials which are used for certain activities in the adult life, zinc is the main component because of the creation of emotion. Then you have, and then you understand, the copper is one of the main ingredients for the neurosystem of the muscles of the man. Then you have the hydrogen, which comes from the plastic, which is the free energy, and the carbon, which was there. In fact, you drink a high sugar level natural water, it's like drinking Coca-Cola with a lot of things in it. That's what you do when you drink Coca-Cola. You intake sugar, which sugar is CH. So in the future, when you drink this water made in this system, in this method, you will never go hungry. This is food of the man. Then you will understand the process. If you add different, not metal, but different nano-coated materials in this container, and you can control it, sulfur, phosphor, calcium, and everything else which you need will drip out of the bucket. So the water, this is what we call a cup of life for a child. You give this in the correct way to a child which is hungry in Africa, he will never look for food, and his intelligence and life will change totally, because you support him emotionally through the zinc, you allow physical structure of the copper to create a solid body muscles, and then you give him energy for his life. Would a man go hungry? No. Is this the real true cup of life? Yes. A lot of you have been looking for this cup in the churches. And what do you call it? Pardon? The chalice.
The cup of Holy Grail? Or
in fact, if I was the teacher of this child, I'll give him 100%, because then he can explain it. And if I was the teacher, I'll go back to school. Because if you are, I know you are Iranian, I respect, with all my love and care for you, teach your child to understand. Give a fish to a man, you have to fish to feed him all his life. Show him to fish, he will never go hungry. This is if the child understands this process and can repeat it, and can create a flow of air on the continuous basis in his cup, and you have helped him to make, or her to make, a CO2, and you seal it, choosing the right plastic that the nano coating creates the maximum boundary. Now you have a restriction and a creation of CO2. You have restriction and condition of the amino acid. Then you have a pure water with more or less everything you need to drink to survive. The physicality, the emotion, and the energy of the conversion. This is the true cup of life in a very simple way.
And Mr. Keshe, for understanding, sorry, can I ask you? The H2O is H2O, water is water, but are the environmental conditions, whether I do it in Mexico City, in Beijing, or in Italy, the quality of the water, I mean, or the...
this is the H2O from the air. It has nothing to do with the quality of the water. This water is a balanced water, doesn't matter where you are. The only thing is the quality of the plastic, how much energy is inside it. Because the level of the release of the energy which is absorbed by the H2O in the water will dictate the hyperactivity of the child. And it just because there is no meat used, there is no flesh is used, then the child stays balanced and peaceful. This is the secret of the creation if you understand it. Otherwise, for you, it's just a voice till you see it. And then you drink it and it can go on for months and months if you create the right atmosphere and condition in it for the children around the world. If I was your child, let them build one cup and send it as a gift to Nepal, where the earthquake is. The child in Nepal will not die of any thirst or hunger. You don't need to save them millions and blankets. Give them a cup, they have it for life, because the gravitational magnetic field of the plastic will never die. And the CO2 in the container will always hold. Send a cup of life to people in Nepal, and you have your answer. Total cost, best time maybe $1. This is part of the structure which the Keshe Foundation will work in if coming up time to finance these kind of structures that we can help and support in a practical way. Any other question? Go back on the videos of the opening of the foundation, and you've seen the pictures which was released by the foundation in respect to the water which is coming in. You have to use the current flow for the production of the flow to increase the production of the water. Clean water without contamination and enough energy to support life in physicality and emotionality. One feeds the soul and one feeds the body of the man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Any other question? I cannot hear
Yes,
you.
that's what we can suggest to move on to the health workshop now. It's time that way.
Okay, no problem. If you want, we thank the children and the parents of the children who put their children on a fire line with the teachers who have no clue about life.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. That's a good
Thank
point.
you very much indeed, and thank you for your time, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay, we close and then we start the teaching for the health workshop.
Yes.
Do we have Dr. Elia Costello on today or not? Where have they gone? Hello?
I don't see Ellie on Skype at all. I don't think we have her.
Okay, so we carry on with our teaching on what we said about the operation of the arm and leg for the movement of the man.
Good. Okay. And that's.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And that ends the
Thank you, indeed.
15th. The 15th Kids Knowledge Seekers Workshop from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute at its home in Italy. Okay.